Ladies and gentlemen, today I played Magnus Carlsen in a game of chess, and you did not. So I will be sharing that game of chess with you. It was our first ever blitz game in a tournament ever against one another. Ever. I played Magnus like 7 years ago in a bullet game. We played one silly game last year in 2024 where he was wearing drunk goggles. But I've never played him in a chess.com tournament until today. Now, here's the funny thing about this game. It almost didn't happen. Why? Well, I'm about to show you. You see, the game just before this one, this was the second round of a tournament. I was playing against a international master from Vietnam. And in this position, with low time, she could have taken my rook. And after she took my rook, she would promote 2 queens and I would lose. I would resign the game. I would have 0 points. And then I would not play against Magnus. But she went here. She mouse slipped. I ended up winning the game by promoting and having an extra rook. The crazy thing is that even if in this position, white is winning, which is completely ridiculous, but she mouse slipped. So I'm sitting there recovering from this game when I get my next opponent. Boom, it's Magnus Carlsen. Now, if you are a long-time viewer of this channel, you know that sometimes I have this extension that I installed, which hides my opponent's names. So I would have not known I was actually playing Magnus. I almost wish I didn't know, but I did know. The name popped up and it was like, boop, Magnus Carlsen. I was like, ooh, okay. Now, if you're wondering what's going on with the back row of pieces, this is freestyle chess or Fischer random. The board is shuffled randomly, and obviously things look a little bit different. So I was playing with the white pieces, and I opened up with the move c4. Now, apparently that is just a bad move. Only in this format can you lose all of your advantage. I played c4. I thought it made sense. I was developing like this. One of the better moves is actually to move the f-pawn, to move f4, and then bring the queen and actually castle before committing anything else, which is sort of ridiculous. Anyway, Magnus played f6 on the first move, which is also a bad move. It's also, you know, it's apparently also a mistake. But he is attacking my pawn over here. Magnus did not take 46 seconds on the first move because he was intimidated by me. He was in the toilet. What can you do? I went b3. I thought nothing more of this move. d3 actually is the move that the computer significantly prefers, which I don't really understand, if I'm being totally honest, but I don't understand much about this format anyway, and now Magnus plays d5, which is the best move. The point of this position is apparently if you bring out your queen quickly with black, you then reposition the queen in the center of the board, and then I guess you get a strong pawn structure. I mean, listen, Magnus plays a move against me. I'm going to respect that it's probably the better move. And I went like this, and then I developed my knight attacking the queen. I mean, I thought everything is completely reasonable. Computer wants me to play this move d3. Again, we're not going to get into the nitty-gritty here. There's no openings, so we traded. I developed my knight and attacked his queen because I thought, well, what could be more natural? And he put his queen on the d7 square, and the position is equal. Now, we have to play from here. I mean, I also thought about playing the move f3 and developing my queen and then castling. You know, in this format, and I can castle this way if all of this space is cleared. In this format, I feel like the best players know certain things. They know certain structures. They kind of have little secrets. I don't really know. I was like, to be honest with you, I don't know how to commit my pieces here. So I developed my bishop to the b2 square. I spent 32 seconds on that move. All right, which is a lot. You know, that is a lot of time to spend on a move. And I guess the lesson here is that I had to be aware of my opponent's pawn play. I could have maybe gone for f4 to take a little bit of space, but I played bishop b2, and Magnus plays the best move, clearly understanding the position better than me, c5. You may be wondering if that's a free pawn. It is. It's a bit much, though. I don't think you can actually take it because I very quickly get some counterplay. So he went c5, and I was like, okay, he wants to go here. He wants to play knight c6. He wants to play bishop b7. You know, the thing is, I'm going to be honest, you guys have never played against Magnus Carlsen. When you play against Magnus, every move he makes, you assume is better than yours. Just like, oh, okay. So I went f3. As we've been discussing, the computer has been recommending this move actually from the very beginning. I think even on move 1, it's saying f3 or f4 is the better move. So I play f3. Plays b6. Now I was thinking like, okay, do I play bishop c2? Do I play queen f2? Do I castle? what am I doing? I don't know if I want to castle quickly, if I want to castle a little bit later. I ended up going bishop c2, because if takes, then rook d1. And I thought, well, he'll develop. I'll go here, and then I'm going to castle, and then I'm going to have an okay position. He goes knight c6. So he's followed the protocol. I played rook d1. I finished the development of my pieces, and, in the future, I want to move my knight, and I'd like to open up these bishops. He can castle. There will be some potential possibilities to attack him. He did that, and I went queen f2. So we've already discussed this. Magnus decided to take in the center and then drop back with his queen. He took and then he dropped back. I slid out like this. I had a feeling here I was slightly worse, as you see from the computer. I am slightly worse. He has a very good control of a very important central square. He'll probably move this pawn here as well, and he will get a nice position. So, knight d4. This, however, felt like an inaccuracy to me during the game. And what's funny is, it actually is an inaccuracy, which is sort of hilarious. When he played it, I was like, I think he just gave me something. He gave me something. The point is that my bishop gets out of the way, it attacks the rook, and then I thought I could kick out his knight on the next move, and that would actually help me expand in the center with e3, d4. Like, obviously, once I castle, I want to expand in the center, because all of my pieces are pointing at that square. So when he went knight d4, I thought, I think I'm happy, dare I say. Trust me, it's a very weird feeling when you have such an emotion when you're playing against Magnus. And then I castled, right? So I thought, okay, he's going to go knight d6 or f5 or maybe even bishop to b7. I thought letting my bishop exist on this diagonal was probably a mistake. If, Magnus makes those. That's why I castled. And he went here. And so I went back to b1. In retrospect, it might have been a bit better to go to the d3 square because it stops bishop a6 from being active. And on d3, I kind of do a nice job controlling the knight. But again, I wanted to play e3 and d4, so going to d3 did not really make sense. So I went here, and now I had a plan to kick out his knight and to play d4 pretty quickly. And maybe even knight c2. So he went here. And at this point, I was like, okay, I'm going to go e3. He's going to go here. And I'm going to try to set up the move d4. That's what I did. I played e3. I was like, okay, I'm going to move his knight. I'll play knight c2. He'll maybe go here. I'll play rook e1. He'll make some move. And then I will get d4 on the board. It's supported by 1, 2, 3, 4. If that knight moves, 5. Like, it's supported by everybody, right? So it's going to be good. Then he went here. And I was like, I just realized that he has something. So I wanted to play knight c2, right, and go d4. But I realized there's a problem with this. If bishop a6, rook e1, he can put his bishop here. And I was like, oh, that's like really annoying. Because I can't move my d-pawn now. If I try to trade the bishop, he'll trade the bishop with me. But d4 gets a lot weaker if I don't have the support, of my bishop in the corner. It's like, all right, what do I do? You're on move 13. You're playing Magnus. What do? Well, you threaten checkmate. Maybe he'll miss it. Queen h4. And I thought, okay, this is obviously a good move because what's going to happen is he's going to defend himself like f5 or g6. And then I'm going to keep expanding and maybe create some sort of attack. I blundered something really stupid though, because again, the starting setup is different. The bishops are in the center, which is not where the bishops normally are. I completely forgot that on this move, I am not just not threatening anything, I'm being threatened. And now I have to move my queen again. So I lost time. And at this point, I was like, oh man, I was actually doing kind of well. And here the position, if I go d4, is actually very nice for me. The point is that after pawn takes, and like some sort of knight takes, I actually get counterplay down the center line pretty quickly. Again, would I have played that against Magnus? Probably not. So f5, I went queen g3, he went f4, and originally here, I wanted to play queen h3 because it sets up this again, but I just couldn't bring myself to like get into the line of attack. I really thought my queen was going to get trapped on the edge of the board. So I was like, God, as much as it pains me to play this move, I think this is the best move. But look at my last few moves. Queen h4, queen g3, queen f2. This just does not feel like it is going in the right direction. But then Magnus made a mistake. Played knight f5, and I was like, hold on a minute. What? And originally what I wanted to play here, which I'm so sad I didn't play, is I wanted to play knight d3. Because that attacks a pawn. That's not the end of the story, but I was like, I didn't quite get the move knight f5 either, if I was being totally honest. Maybe he was trying to set up bishop h4 stuff. You know, he was trying to set up bishop a4, bishop a6, crisscross, kind of trap my queen. And I had a feeling I needed to do something here, and I just chose wrong. I put the wrong piece on the d3 square. Now, it's fine, because the position's actually still in the balance, but after knight f5, if I had gone knight d3 attacking this pawn, he might have gone to protect it. I mean, honestly, I have a pretty nice position. I have good pressure with my knight and my bishop. My queen can come in the middle. But he played knight f5, and I did not put the right piece on that square. But I had an idea. The idea was to not allow his bishop to go to that diagonal. And maybe I will go bishop c4, put some pressure on the knight. Maybe I'll play knight e4, right? He went here. And I was like, okay, I get it. He's trying to attack this pawn. I understand, right? If I take, he takes. So what did I do? I have to play a move quickly. I got rid of the knight, and then I went knight c2, but this is a panic decision. I now have 8 seconds on the clock, which is just not enough time, right? What I should have done instead, seeing this pressure, I panicked because if I play knight c2, he's going to take my bishop. But what I should do is I should just go here. And if he takes, then I take the knight, and then in this position, I'm able to do this. These are all very, very subtle things. But when he attacked my pawn, and I was like, oh, well, if I take, he gets in his knight. Oh, my gosh, I don't know. So I went like this. But now he's going to do the exact same thing I just showed you earlier. He's going to plant his bishop on that square. And I am not feeling good here. Let me tell you. I was like, I have 7 seconds versus 42. When did all of this go so wrong? When did it go so wrong? My knight is hanging. I have to move my knight. And then he goes here. I kicked out his rook. And here, the funny thing about this position is I thought, I'm actually doing something. I actually thought in this position, he has to go here playing defense. I'm going to go knight c4. We're going to trade. This is going to be the position. When I played the move knight d5, creating a discovered attack on this pawn, for a brief second, I thought, I got him right where I want him. Magnus has absolutely no chance. He has no idea who I am. And then I sat there staring at the board, and I realized he can play queen d8, threatening to trap my queen. And I knew at that exact moment, if I saw the move, you're damn right, he saw the move. Because if it was a bullet game, he would have seen and probably just quickly defended his pawn. And this move appeared on the board, and I pooped my pants. I was like, I can't do anything. I'm straight up completely locked in. Look at this god of a bishop. That's why earlier I needed to create counterplay faster. So I went rook e2. This is basically the only move. Bishop h4. And I am just so cooked here. But the funny thing is he has a couple of different ways to cook the meat, you know. He could fillet, he could saute, he could broil, he could barbecue, you know what I'm saying? He finds the best way, which is jumping in the knight. The only piece that has not yet participated. Adding more pressure here, I have to give up my bishop, which is one of my most active pieces. And again, even here, accuracy is required. Would you like to know what the best move is here? Which pawn do you think you should take with for black? Pawn takes d4. E takes. Opening up the E file for the future. That's going to come in handy. I was still like, you know, maybe Magnus is going to throw here. Maybe he's going to take. Look at how much the evaluation actually goes away if he rushes. Right, so I played knight c4. I was like, I'm going to get his bishop out. Yeah, and then here he finished the game off in 1.3 seconds by playing a really, 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 really nasty move. He played rook e8. And if you don't understand why that move is so good, you're about to find out why that move is so good. My position is so bad, it's actually impressive. So first of all, I'm pinned so badly, I cannot even run away from the pin, right? I can't run away. I'm completely stuck. This move pins my pawn to my queen, because my queen's going to end up there, and the knight can't be defended, and I can't move the knight because it's trapped. This dude has me wrapped up in a pretzel. So I went king h1, otherwise I was going to lose on time, and then I realized bam, 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 and that was that. So if I took the queen, I'm just simply going to be down a rook. If I didn't take the queen, I'm simply going to be down a rook, but with a queen on the board, but it's a consolation prize, and I'm simply going to lose. You know, I gotta tell you, I'm kind of disappointed that I played so terribly from around move 20, but what happened in this game is I was playing pretty well. I had pretty good stream of thought, and right here, this really set me back. When I played these three moves, queen h4, queen g3, queen f2, I felt so idiotic to even be sharing the same chessboard with Magnus Carlsen. I was like, oh my, what am I mean, this is it. What have I done? This is so idiotic of me. I had a feeling some of these moves were not maybe the best way to put pressure, but I just couldn't get it back together. All of a sudden, I have 9 seconds on the clock, and I'm doing stupid stuff. And yeah, it was very instructive. He plants the bishop on d3, and then queen d8 was so disgusting. When I played knight d5, I had a little bit of joy in my soul. And when I saw this move, and then I was like, oh, he's definitely going to see that. And in case you're confused, by the way, why I have to play here, the point is that there, I would have to go here, and the rooks come in, and yeah, I mean, he's got everything perfectly coordinated. And game review thought I played this game at 80%, so that's very generous. I will not be crying myself to sleep over that. He thought Magnus played at 91%. I had a decent position, but sadly, it was not meant to be. Here, I needed to play d4 faster, and on the next move, I needed to block up on the light squares in the center of the board, which I already showed how to do. I needed to put my knight on d3, put that knight on e4, and go for that type of a position. All right, boys and girls, we'll get them next time, you know? That's all I have for you today. I'm going on tour May 2025 in Europe. Brussels, London, Vienna. Already have announced so many awesome special guests like Anna Kramling, Danny Wrench, Frank. For those of you that know, Frank will be joining in London. Vincent Keimer, we're hoping to get Alessia Santeramo, who is also an Italian content creator. We're hoping to get Fedor Holtz, the poker player in Vienna, Austria. It's going to be great. That's all I have for you today. And yeah, get out of here.